Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I jump into the topic of today, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself, James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software. By myself, James Smith, as I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, first I want to say thank you all for your video suggestions. I'm reading over them, and as a result I have plenty of things to talk about. Things that you want to discuss further, and things you would like to know about. And all of this is not only helpful to the individual, but it's helpful to the masses. There was a commenter that mentioned that much of what I talk about can be found in some homes in Kenya. In the past I've received comments from those in Australia, Brazil, Japan, all over Europe, Israel. This is truly, and I do mean truly, a global problem. So each time we talk about one of these important topics that surrounds narcissism and narcissistic abuse, there is someone new that will come along, and they will watch this or someone else's video, and will be able to have the same light bulb moment we all had, and they will be able to take positive steps forward as a result to be able to have a healthy and happy life. Or at least they will have a better shot at it, because they now have the information that can help them get out of the lies and fog they have been living in and under. With that said, the first topic I want to talk about that was mentioned in the comment section of my last video was, I never said that, or that never happened, along with honor thy mother and thy father, and how that gets misused by the narcissist to control their children. So, I never said that, or that never happened. This is one of the first things that you will see or hear from the narcissist in your life, no matter it be your mother or father, or someone new you are dating or in a friendship with. Now, yes, there are many, and I do mean many, other early red flags to look out for. But this is usually something that happens to most victims of this abuse in the early stages. And oftentimes it's done with possibly not very important topics, working their way up to very important topics, slowly getting you to allow yourself to be brainwashed. Because that's what it is. It's a form of brainwashing known as gaslighting. Some of you know what that is already. But if you're new to learning about this, trust and know, there is a name as to what was happening to you. First and foremost, that name is narcissistic abuse. But more specifically in this instance, it's called gaslighting. This term or name was derived from an old movie called The Gaslight, where a man wanted to steal a woman's fortune. So he did things to make her go insane. And one of the things he would do is turn on the gaslight, and then say he never did it. Narcissists are masters at this. And they don't just use this tactic to get out of trouble, though they do also use it for that purpose too. But most importantly, they use it to change your way of thinking. And if you are a child of a narcissist, to mold your way of thinking. And I say that because when you're a child you have limited points of reference. And most narcissist parents try to get a head start and mold their child's thinking to suit their needs of gaining narcissistic supply from you, and to being able to keep and hold a lifetime control over you. Now the narcissist you might meet in your later life has the same goals. But instead of molding your thoughts, since you're an adult, they try to change your thinking process to suit their needs to gain narcissistic supply from you. And so they can have lifelong control over every aspect of your life. It's really crazy. I remember my mother telling lies to people when I was young. And to this day, I truly believe my mother told these lies in front of me on purpose to see how I would react. Would I just say nothing and go along with it? Or would I question what I had heard? And because I'm the questioning type, I asked my mother about such things. At this very young age. Mom. Why did you tell that person this, that and the other? That's not true. Why did you lie to this person? And that's when I was hit with the gaslight. My mother would look me in the face and say, I have no idea what you're talking about, James. I never said that. Boy. This really threw me for a loop. Here was this woman. That was supposed to be the person that was looking out for my best interests. Was lying to people in front of me. Then moments later denying the conversation ever took place. But the goal of all of this is for one, to see what side you will be on. And for two, for you, or me in this instance, to slip into this fog or an alternate reality. Their alternate reality. Which is something I never fully did. Yes. I was confused like no tomorrow. But I continued always knowing something was wrong with my mother and my home of origin. Which is what made me, and more than likely you, a target to become the scapegoat and further narcissistically abused. The problem was that, though I knew all of this was wrong, the fog I did fall into was getting so used to hearing it. And though yes, questioning it, I still wasn't taking positive action to get myself away from it in my adult years. And what I mean by that is with those that I later came into contact with in my life. Such as my ex Susie. Though Susie had a good love bombing game. Which is another topic for another video. But let's just say for now, she came on strong with tons of attention. And fake love. One thing she did was gaslight. And it was over little things. Things that weren't that important. And things that weren't even real disagreements. But I would say, remember when you said such and such? And Susie would just look at me and say, I never said that. This should have been a red flag for me to get the heck out and away from such an individual. But because I hung in there with my mother, trying to get her to see the light, I did the same thing with Susie. I felt that if I talked to her more, I would somehow get a better result. And she would somehow see the light. You see, gaslighting can become very easy for you to get used to. That's the trick of gaslighting. And that's why when others did this to me in my adult life, I just hung around. Because though I knew it was wrong, I didn't have the skills or know how to get away from it. Because quite simply it was all I knew. And this is something you might want to look at within yourself. Peel back the layers. Think about the many times as an adult where grown people looked you in the face and said, I never said that. With a straight face. And how you knew in your deep inner being that was and is a lie. But because you were so used to being lied to, you continued on with your relationship or so-called friendship with this person. When the truth is, when someone is doing this to you, they are not only trying to avoid blame, but they are trying to change your way of thinking. So they can continue to abuse you over a long period of time. If not forever, if they can get away with it. So if someone says, I never said that or that never happened, they are gaslighting you. It's an evil brainwashing tactic. And do your best to get away from such a person. No matter how much you thought you liked this person, the part of this person that you liked was and is more than likely a fake persona. Just so they could get close enough to you. So they can drag you through a lifetime of narcissistic abuse. And as I mentioned before, not only friends, or so-called friends, and or relationship partners, but parents do this to their children. It's just sick. 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 Which brings me to the other point or topic within this topic that was suggested. And that's, honor thy mother and thy father. And how narcissist parents use this to their advantage. To gaslight. And flat out narcissistically abuse their children. Look. Many of you may know, I currently Currently have very limited contact with my narcissist mother. And no contact with my golden child narcissist brother. And the only reason why I have very limited contact with my narcissist mother is because she's in a stage in her life where she can no longer harm me. Now I agree. It's not for everyone. It's what's right for me. And the truth is, she really is in almost a semi-vegetative state. And a good while ago, I realized something important. Honor thy mother and thy father doesn't mean to let your mother or father mistreat you and stand there just because they are your mother or father and take it. However, what I've come to understand and believe is it means to not have hatred in your heart toward this parent or parents, and forgive them for their wrongdoing, and to push forward. Because the devil and the narcissist both want you to be stuck in your hatred. And when you break free of that, you really are truly free. But I also realized it meant to not behave nasty to or wrong towards your parents or parents. I realized that talking to my mother when she was able to do so about all the stuff she did to me was pointless. Because she would just say, I never said that, or that never happened. And I would be walking into her trap. But instead, I would keep it short and sweet. How are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So forth and so on. There's a pastor that I'm not sure if they are still living or not, and his name escapes me. But he mentioned this. He said, sometimes honoring your mother and father is moving across country, because they are just toxic people. But even in your move, you're not nasty or hateful about it. You don't curse them out. You don't say how much you hate them to their face or just in general. You realize they are living under something bad. A curse, if that's what you believe. And that you are truly blessed. Because the Most High gave you the gift of discernment. And that you aren't walking in the way of the evil narcissist. Even if that narcissist is your parent. But though you recognize this parent of yours is full of evil thoughts and deeds. And though you may have moved many miles away from this person and their evil, and you've developed boundaries to keep such evil out of your life, your heart is still soft, and isn't full of hatred for this person. And you have forgiven them for the wrong they have done to you and your life. And if you are no contact, you are no contact without hate. And if you are very low contact, you do not talk to them about your abuse because it will go nowhere. But instead, you, for the sake of honoring them, you keep the conversations short and peaceful. It's this lack of understanding that keeps many in such bad situations with an abusive parent or parents. And it's also this lack of understanding that keeps someone that finds out about narcissistic abuse from truly healing and having a better life. I do hope this video and explanation helps someone out there. Please let me know what you think, and what your thoughts on this subject is. And I will be going over the last video for more topics to talk about. With that said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to be a part of this channel's growth. And if you would like to support even further, you can do so by the way of Patreon. There will be a link in the box below. And to those that are supporting over there, I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. With that said, until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.